Okay, this is why the manufacturers are lying about whole wheat, okay? You can clearly see, I'll even block off the top part. It says, and wheat bran, okay? Most of these whole wheat manufacturers say that it's whole wheat when it does not have the wheat bran. This shredded wheat's actually added the wheat bran. So there is a huge difference. I mean, you could look at the texture of these. They're not going to be as good with wheat bran added, okay? You see all those perfectly formed noodles and crackers and whatever else. You can make the perfectly formed pancake and stuff. But that's all without wheat bran added, okay? Wheat bran will make it hard to make cakes and cookies perfectly the way you want. And that used to be important back to people, for people back in the late 1800s when they needed that visual appeal for some reason. But that's when they didn't understand how health worked. All right, we're learning that health needs a more complete wheat berry, and most of these manufacturers are taking out the bran, okay? I'd say that's the number one thing that you need to do to improve your health, is to consume the more complete grain, okay? You don't need a perfectly formed cookie, okay? You could take it being a little gritty or falling apart. I mean, they glue them together, and it's because manufacturers perfectly remove the endosperm from the bran from the germ. They break a little berry down into 3 pieces, and then they sell them separately. That's how you make the money in the business, but it's not how you prosper health-wise through this. Okay, so look at this. I mean, this is wheat bran is cheap. Okay, they feed it to pigs and cows. Adding it doesn't hurt anything. It'll just make things look a little uglier. And that's what they're doing, is they're showing that these little granule things, they're a little uglier. They're not as finely textured as the regular wheat. But you want that ugliness. I mean, come on. People with their gluten intolerances, it's not an intolerance for wheat. It's an intolerance for endosperm. But I think part of the reason people don't want to use the word endosperm is because it's got sperm in it. There might be that issue where people don't want to talk about how they got an endosperm intolerance. But that's exactly what they have. If they had the bran and the germ in there with the wheat, they wouldn't be experiencing these terrible, these awful, digestive disorders and stuff. So that's nice that this company does this. Okay, the bran is jacked up a lot more in the range that is normal. Okay, but yeah, it's gone back to the late 1800s when these manufacturers figured out how to separate the bran from the wheat from the endosperm from the germ, and ever since then we've been just kind of going along with it. So that's not really, I wouldn't, I make the argument about extraction and calling things a drug. I mean, I wouldn't call that a drug so much, although the more diluted, the more specific the granule is, the more drug-like your side effects are going to be. But I believe they're mechanically separating these things. So, yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say about this. The bran is the trick, okay? There's oat bran, there's wheat bran, there's barley bran. But they don't sell barley bran. I don't know where that's going to. They don't even bother selling. They sell rice bran, but I hear that's not the most desirable. But I'm not too sure. I don't know a lot about that. I avoid rice. But yeah, get your bran in with your food, in with your grains, and you won't have those gluten intolerances.